Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you wouldn't mind, please make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got some stuff to be discussing today. Bitcoin's trading at $66,780, down slightly within the last 24 hours. And Ethereum has had a little bit of a pullback within the last 24 hours as well. We are looking at $3,788 there, down 2.38%. So although Ethereum was looking like it was beginning to climb back against Bitcoin, it seems to have had another pullback on that chart. So let's take a quick look at that. First of all, on the Bitcoin chart, we're seeing green once again. Another green day was printed yesterday, and we are starting off today good, so hopefully that continues. For Ethereum, we can see something similar. We've seen a really nice green candle printed yesterday, but we do have a little bit of a pullback today. Yesterday, we were creating new yearly highs for Ethereum. We are still around 23% away from the all-time high for Ethereum, so we've still got some room to grow there. But I was looking at the previous cycle, and we did have about 7 or 8 weeks between Bitcoin creating a new all-time high and Ethereum creating a new all-time high in the previous cycle. So maybe that's a pattern that we may see this time around as well. So definitely something to be keeping an eye on. Let's take a look at what's going on with Ethereum, Bitcoin right now. So yesterday, Ethereum did outperform Bitcoin pretty significantly, but now we are seeing a small pullback here as Ethereum starts to create some levels of support while Bitcoin has another attack at that all-time high, which we all like to see at the end of the day. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat right now. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Monkey Nuts. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. And PG and Kevin Stone. Appreciate you all tuning in every single day. Kevin Stone says, altcoin season, here we come. I really do believe there's an opportunity here in the markets right now, and I'm very excited to see how this all plays out within the next couple of weeks. Now, let's take a sip of our coffees this morning and take a look at the price of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is high. Bitcoin is so high. Let's take a look at this. BTC. Just as I sip my coffee, the music goes off at the same time. There we go. Back in action. Let's try this. BTC USDT. Here we go. So that wasn't even the chart we wanted. Here we go. Kevin says when ETH hits all-time high, it's going to blow. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Fingers crossed we do see that within the next 8 weeks and we keep that pattern continuing. I mean, with the hype of the possibility of an Ethereum ETF May 23rd, we could see some people trying to buy in before that event as well, similar to how we saw the Bitcoin ETF anticipation affect the market. So fingers crossed we see something like this. I would love to see Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin and see some altcoins performing really, really well. But right now we have removed the barrier for entry for Bitcoin and not for the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So I am cautious that we could see the ratio be not as strong as it has been in previous cycles. But it'll be interesting to see. Perry says, I want to get high, so high. Bruce says, good day, chat. Monkey Nut says, hi, Bruce. Hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, we very much appreciate it. Is today going to be the day that we hit 4,000 subscribers here on the channel? Because we are edging closer and closer to it every single day. We are still on 3.99k. Please make sure if you are new here to hit like, subscribe and press the bell notification button so we can get that 4,000 target on the channel. It's one of our targets here. We want to get this YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do that. So please make sure to support the channel as much as possible. Let's take a look at what's going on in terms of the Bitcoin price. Let's take a look at some of the data here today. So first of all, let's take a look at the liquidation heat map, because honestly, this chart has been helping us anticipate the price of Bitcoin pretty significantly within the last couple of weeks. We all know that Bitcoin likes to take the path of most pain. It's very clear that Bitcoin likes to do that. And while it does that, it means that the magnets, that we can find magnets based on where traders are going to get liquidated. So when we look at this price chart, we can see that a lot of traders will get liquidated if Bitcoin moves down to $65,520, and if Bitcoin moves up to $67,600. Now, when I look at this chart and I see these two magnets, I expect that we will probably wick both. I expect that we will probably hit both of those price points and both traders will get liquidated, both the shorters and the longers. So that's what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, and I expect that to continue. If we zoom out a little bit further, you can see that we had a huge liquidation point down at $61,000, and we did wick that with that massive move to the downside earlier this week. Liquidated all of those traders, and I think that was healthy price action for the Bitcoin price, because Bitcoin's not going to leave all of those longers with their open positions there. It takes the path of most paid every time. So on the shorter time frames, the only price points that we are really concerned about here is the $65,000 level and the $67,000 level. I personally believe probably both of those will be touched within the next 48 hours. So definitely stay tuned for that. And taking a look at the Fear and Greed Index, we can see that we are back up to 82 here. So we did get down to 75 yesterday, but it has increased slightly back into the extreme greed section. We do see this as a little bit of a concern. I like to be fearful when everybody else is greedy, and greedy when everybody else is fearful. But right now I'm feeling greedy and the market's in extreme greed. So I feel uncomfortable in this position, but I can't help but feel greedy when the markets are looking like they look. It's insane what's happening in the markets right now. Rob says, heard we only were above 60k in last bull run for a total of 10-11 days. In fact, we haven't really dropped below it since breaking above it is so bullish. Yes, and I think that is such an important thing to note. Yes, we have the $69,000 level as an all-time high, and yes, we did briefly break above that. But if we actually take a look at the price action in the previous cycle, only a couple of days were above the $60,000 level. I think it was more than 10-11, but let's pull that up and see. If we take a look at $60,000, this is the $60,000 level, so all of these price candles were above $60,000, but the majority of like the high price action was actually like any price action above $45,000. Now, we did mention this here on the channel when Bitcoin was at $45,000. A significant chunk of the bull market was between 45 and 60 at those high levels. Not many people sold or bought above $60,000. We weren't at these price points for very long. So it is really nice to see us hold these price points, and it's really nice to see us stay around that all-time high point. If we take a look at what happened when Bitcoin was breaking through $20,000, when that was the all-time high, we did something similar to what we are doing now. If we take a look at the hourly chart and we zoom all the way back to when this happened, so we need to go back to 2020. This is going to take me a minute on the hourly chart. Hold on. Let's see what we've got here. So we are at the peaks in the bull market. Let's continue scrolling this back. So Jonathan says in the chat, please smash the likes. Please do smash the likes. It helps the channel so much. It's not going to let us scroll back that far, clearly, obviously. Let's try the Bitstamp chart instead. So let's get our daily chart up. Let's put our all-time high lines on. So we're looking at this point here. Now if we go back to the hourly chart and we scroll and we scroll and we scroll, let's see, can we do this any faster? Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news while I scroll here. We do these live streams every single weekday, and I would appreciate it if you tune in with us every day so you can learn about what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets. That chart's not going to let us scroll back either. Let's try this again. One last try here. We're on the 4-hour chart now. Let's pull this back. I want to see, okay, now we're in 2017. We're way too far back. If we take a look at what happened when Bitcoin first broke through the $20,000 level in the previous bull market, here we go. We finally got there. You can see that we had a small breakthrough, and then we had a little bit of bearish momentum, and then we managed to break through, but we managed to stay within a 11% range. Now we have had a wick to the downside in the last couple of days that was about 15%, I think, but we managed to stay close to this range, and I think this is something that we could expect to see this time around, where it does take a couple of bullish moves to try and break through that level of resistance, but when we do, it could be significant. If you look at this price action, I remember watching this price action and just being astonished with how quickly Bitcoin was moving. So I'd like to see this happen again, and this is similar to what it looks like now. If we take a look at this, we got pretty close to it, and we've had a bit of a pullback, and then we have a couple more attempts before we have that next breakthrough. If we go back to what's happened right now, if we go back to what's happened right now, I wish there was a quicker way to do this. You can see that if we draw on the all-time high, which is around here, you can see that we've had an attempt at it. We've had a pullback. Now we're back in that bullish momentum. I think we do have maybe a week or two before we have a real good stab at that new all-time high. But I do think there is the potential there to see those nice movements to the upside. Let's take a look in the chat here. Kevin Stone says 75% of the time when Bitcoin breaks previous cycle all-time high, the price doubles within 3 weeks afterwards. Food for thought. Well, let's take a look at that theory. Let's take a look at that theory and draw this onto the chart. So let's delete all of these lines on this chart and start again. So if we take a look at after the first halving, we created an all-time high at $1,110. Now, $1,170, sorry. And if we take a look at the point in which this broke, you can see that we broke it at this point here. So how long did it take post breaking all-time high to do a 2x? If we take a look here, we needed to reach $2,370, and we managed to do that within around 86 days. 86 days that one took. So if we take a look at the next cycle and we go to $20,000, and remember 86 days in our heads. If we take a look at this, how long did it take us to, from breaking all-time high, double in price? And we're looking at the $40,000 level here, and this looks like it took 23 days. So that's a significant difference there. So we're looking at 86 days minus compared to 23 days. I suppose if we ignore this kind of fake breakout here and go from this point here, we'd have different data. If we go to there, you can see it took about 42 days there. If you ignore this kind of price action really close, I would say that we can ignore that. If we're ignoring that, we also have to ignore the new all-time high that we created yesterday. But either way, 86 days, 23 days, if we're looking at 2 or 3 months to double the Bitcoin price from here, we can't complain at that. So I mean, it would be very, very nice to see. Looking at that, those kind of figures are important, but we do have to be aware that obviously it takes a lot more money flowing into the markets at these points than it did in previous cycles to see a double, because the Bitcoin market cap right now is $1.3 trillion. So to double in price, we need to see $1.3 trillion plus, because we have to remember that it is an inflationary asset as well. So we need to see like 1.3 something to get the Bitcoin price going from $69,000 to $140,000. But that's absolutely insane. If we do see the Bitcoin price double within 2 to 3 months and that pattern continues, it'll be a nice day. It will be a very, very nice day. That would be insane. And I feel like at that point, we would have to take some profits off the table. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat here. Jonathan said, I just added to my orange allocation. How is orange doing this morning? I know it was pumping a little bit yesterday. If we take a look here, and we pull this out, it's green. It's very green. It's nice to see. It's holding these price points really, really well, which is important and something I'd like to see continue here. Kevin Stone says consolidation before breakthrough. I mean, I hope so. If we continue with what happened in the previous cycle, breaking through that $20,000 level, I think seeing some consolidation here would be really nice, and hopefully Ethereum and some altcoins pump. Rob says, are you all in, Jess, or have you kept a percentage of fear for corrections? Rob, I've been all in since the bottom. I don't have much to play with. So when the opportunity came and Bitcoin was at $17,000, I was all in. I don't have the portfolio size of a typical YouTube crypto person. So every single month when I get paid, I'm trying to invest little bits, but I am all in. And when it comes to buying percentages of it, for keeping some away for corrections, Yes, I think it's important, but we were at $17,000. We were at $20,000. We were at $25,000. I mean, I'm buying in the corrections that come at the time I have the cash to invest. I'm not waiting for a 20, 30% correction. If Bitcoin has a red day and I want to buy some Bitcoin, I'm buying the Bitcoin because we are in a bull market. We don't know when those corrections are going to come, how big they will be. If we do have a massive correction, 30%, 20%, then I'll be looking at making a leverage trade to take advantage of that opportunity. But I'm not waiting with my spot. I'm dollar cost averaging in because that is the strategy that I have built. Dollar cost averaging in, dollar cost averaging out, not waiting for any pullbacks. There's never going to be the perfect time to enter the market. We all have to just build a strategy and continue with that. And my strategy was do as much as I can in the bear market, build a portfolio, and then dollar cost average in whenever Bitcoin has a red day and I have some fiat to invest. Now that I have done that, I'm looking to diversify a little bit more, but with a small portfolio of my size, I don't want to over diversify too much. And then I want to build that back into Bitcoin when hopefully my altcoins start to outperform Bitcoin somewhere. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat. Monkey Nut says, I'm selling some of my high rank coins for low rank coins. After massive gains this run, sod the risk. There's always opportunities there. You do have to be careful, do all of your due diligence as much as possible. Kevin Stone says, thanks Jess for the double check and correction. Tell Jess we degens get in at the bottom. DCA. Same here. Jonathan says, yes, Josh, but practically speaking, we didn't really break all-time high. We just hit it. When we break it properly and do a retest, then we'll turn on the afterburners. I know. And I was seeing like BBC News report, new all-time high, new all-time high. And I was thinking like, does it count? I feel like the all-time high acted as a level of resistance. Even if we got a couple of dollars above it on some exchanges, yes, technically it's an all-time high, but in my brain it doesn't really count yet. Until we hit like $70,000, then I'm like, yeah, okay, new all-time high here, ready to run. Let's see what's going on here. Rob says, managed to get a bit of fiat together, so don't mind which way price it goes short term. And I think the most important thing for me, sometimes it's easy to think, yeah, we are going to have a pullback. We are going to have a 20, 30% pullback and there's opportunities to invest. But what I'm constantly doing is in the last cycle, I used too much leverage. I built my portfolio and then I basically lost it all because I was using too much leverage and I was too emotional with my trades. There was a point in time when I was leverage trading on 10x leverage constantly with like alerts going off in the middle of the night and changing my portfolio, adjusting my position. That was insane. That was not healthy, and I was very emotional when it came to my portfolio. So I've learned a lot from those mistakes I made, and that's why I'm doing it very, very differently this time. Not opening any leverage positions unless there's a trade that's just screaming at me to trade, which does happen from time to time. I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart every day. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, it's so obvious it's going to go up right now. I need to put a trade on, and I will do that. But for the majority of the time, I'm just investing for the long term. If Bitcoin's red and I have some fiat, I'm entering. And in that way, with Bitcoin being my main investment, yes, I'm maybe limiting the amount of gains that I make, but I know I'm not an emotional trader when it comes to Bitcoin. If I hold a huge, if I invest in Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes down 30%, I literally do not care. I literally do not care because my Bitcoin value is my Bitcoin value. But if I'm holding some altcoins and they go down, I get a little bit nervous and I get a little bit emotional. So I always like to hold Bitcoin over other tokens. I am trying to take on a little bit more risk here and diversify a little bit more. So moving from Bitcoin into other altcoins, but then eventually I want to move that back into Bitcoin. And that's how I stay emotionless when it comes to my portfolio. And I think finding a strategy that doesn't pull on your emotions is very, very important in this market, especially in the bull market. Jonathan says, you got 2 wrecked last cycle. Yes, I did. It was a terrible, terrible time. I went from thinking I was an absolute genius investing in crypto early to getting wrecked. It was a nightmare. But we're back, still building, stuck around in the bear market, and that is how we've managed to survive. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Managed to get a bit of fiat together. We've already read that one. We live and we learn, says Kevin. We definitely do. Jonathan says, do you have a normal job? No, I've been full-time crypto for 4 years. while I was leverage trading, I was full-time crypto then as well. This is my job. These live streams are my job. I work at Crypto Saving Expert. Crypto is how I make my money. It's just, I don't have a lot of it. But maybe ask again at the end of the cycle, and fingers crossed we'll have made some good choices. Better choices than the last cycle, and we'll have something to show for it this time. Let's take a look. Kevin Stone says we are all rooting for Jess to get giga rich crypto style. Yep, you'll see me in my Lambo in Dubai. No, you won't really. But hopefully we make better gains and we hold on to those gains, unlike in the last cycle. Matthew says good morning, evening, night, wherever you may be. Rob says don't trust myself with trading at all. Don't think I could separate emotions, so I'd rather just buy low and hold. I honestly think picking a strategy that is best for you is so important. Yes, there's always ways that you could be making more money. You could be looking at different hype, looking at the hype and investing in meme coins for an hour every day and picking the best new coin. And there's so many strategies that you can use to make money in this market. But if it's not for you and you can't control your emotions when it comes to those strategies, you are going to be worse off. And I've tried all of these different strategies. I've learned all of these different things. And sometimes you do have to say, do you know what? Brilliant for you that you can make money through that strategy, but it's not for me. And we just have to do that, and we have to learn from that. If you don't have the time to allocate to research low cap coins in detail, find the hype, find the trends, and jump into them and jump out of them with conviction, then you shouldn't try and do that half-heartedly, because you will end up worse off. Picking a strategy that's good for you based on how much time you have, based on how much money you have, based on the size of your portfolio, and based on the amount of conviction that you can give yourself and the strength you can give yourself mentally when it comes to investments is so important. Because if you're not the right type of person to be a day trader, you will not be a profitable day trader. If you are not the right type of person to find the hype and invest in the hype with conviction, you are not going to be a good trader like at that. But if you are, you can be really, really successful. So finding something that works for you is so important. Let's see what's going on here. Rob says you'll be able to stream whilst traveling the world soon, Jess. Imagine. I'll be streaming with my camera from the Maldives. This is the life. Let's see what's going on here. Bruce says, I treat my crypto like it's monopoly money. Pretend it's not real. Just try and get more of it. No emotions required. Definitely. I mean, we all need to understand that it is money at the end of the day, because it's so painful to have unrealized profit and then lose it all and be like, well, I could have actually done something with that. Taking the emotions away is really, really important, but also taking some money off the table, taking profit is really important as well. A profit is not a profit until it's realized, and you do want to realize some profits here, because seeing your portfolio go from zero to $100,000 to zero again is painful. Even though when it's at $100,000, you can think it's not real. When it goes back to zero, it feels like it was real. It feels like it was real, and it feels painful. So just be incredibly careful. I'm going to be taking profits this cycle. I'm going to be trading with conviction this cycle. I'm going to be a profitable trader here. In fact, Crypto Saving Expert are bringing out a tool very, very soon that may be able to help you with your trading. I can pull it up here. Very sneak peek of what's going on there. If you are in the CSE Premium group, make sure to join our chat that we have on the Discord at 1 p.m. today in 54 minutes, where we are going to be discussing this indicator and the potential that it has. Very new, exciting venture for Crypto Saving Expert. So make sure to keep your eyes out for that. And if you want to be a part of that group, make sure to sign up to CSE Premium before 1 p.m. today in the next 54 minutes, and you'll be able to be in that call. It's essentially like a Zoom call with me, Jordan, the rest of the Crypto Saving Expert team, and our premium members, where we have a discussion about the cryptocurrency space. Anybody can ask any questions, and we are going to be presenting that very exciting indicator as well. So if you are a premium member, make sure to tune in, and if you want to tune in, become a premium member. To do that, all you need to do is go to cryptosavingexpert.com and then go to join CSE Plus, scroll to the bottom, and you want to choose the premium membership there to take advantage of that opportunity. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So let's take a look at what's going on with the Bitcoin price. Jason says, I started off with buy low and sell high. OT wasn't till I learned how to leverage trade. Started small and working into it. Trust yourself and back your ability. Lee says, considering it dead money when it's crypto helped me a lot. I mean, the numbers can change very, very quickly in crypto. So we can't look at our profits as realized profits until they're off the table. Kevin Stone says, I've become detached from the numbers. That helps. Everybody in this chat has got the right idea here. Let's see what's going on here. Jonathan says, can we have a premium giveaway? Potentially. If we get to 10,000 subscribers in March, I'll ask a question. No, maybe that's too high. But maybe we should do something like this. I'll have a call with Jordan at some point and discuss the opportunities for that, because there's some big things coming to the premium membership team. Let's see what's going on here. So we are up 9.15% this month. Raven Trader says buy high and sell higher. I mean, we've hit that point in the markets. We really have. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we are 43 days away from the Bitcoin halving, where Bitcoin's inflation rate is halved from 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes to 3.125. We're going to see it go down from around 900 Bitcoin mined per day to 450 Bitcoin mined per day. So that's a significant decrease there, especially when we're taking into account that Bitcoin ETFs are buying like 10, 11,000 Bitcoin per day. Insane. 10 times the amount of Bitcoin is added into circulation, and soon it's going to be 20 in just 43 days. So what day is it in 43 days? Can we work that out? 43 days from today is very, very close. Exactly. All of the kind of countdown things say different things. This is saying the 19th of April. All of the countdowns say different things because a Bitcoin block is mined approximately every 10 minutes, but it's not exactly every 10 minutes. Now, Bitcoin halving is every 210,000 blocks. So that it's kind of like an estimate. And then as we get closer to the event, all of the countdowns and the calendars will get more accurate, because if we're a day away and there's only 24 times 60 blocks to be mined, you can be more accurate than if there's 24 times 14. 60 times 24 times 14. If that, I mean, I think that only made sense in my own head. I don't think the words that came out of my mouth made sense, but you understand. If it's approximately every 10 minutes, as we get closer and there's less blocks to mine and there's less 10 minutes to estimate, the more accurate we will be. Raven Trading says buy high and sell higher. Rob says lost a lot last time with copy trading, bad mistake, don't do it. Yeah, copy trading, honestly, it can be a good tool and it can be a bad tool. I think you should want to teach yourself trading instead. I think that's the best strategy. Teach yourself the skill. Don't rely on someone else to do it for you, because at the end of the day, even if they're profitable, they can say, do you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and your income stream is gone. Teach yourself and you will be a lot better off. You only need to rely on yourself. Let's take a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency news. So before we do, actually, if you want to teach yourself how to trade, we've got trading courses on the Crypto Saving Expert website within the free membership as well, if you're not yet a CSE member. And then we've got some more technical ones for those who are members as well. So make sure to check those out. But that's all we have in terms of that. Let's take a look at the cryptocurrency news here and see what is going on. Let's see how many likes we've got on today's stream before we do that, actually. So we have currently 24 likes on today's stream with 40 people watching on YouTube. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers and we are getting closer and closer every day, but we are still on 3.99k. So close. Please make sure to help us hit that target. We would very much appreciate it. And we want 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We really do. So help us on that goal, please. Let's take a look at what's going on here in the news. So first of all, Bitcoin's centralized exchange trading volume reaches 2021 high as Bitcoin crossed $69,000. The trading volume on centralized exchanges reached levels at $46.25 billion. Bitcoin and Ether spot trading volumes on centralized exchanges reached record highs on Tuesday following the upsurge in the market marked by the largest cryptos move above the all-time high of $69,000. So very nice to see that there. We also have seen the Bitcoin ETFs record third largest daily inflow. We keep seeing this headline over and over again, and as it continues to beat through its smash through its records, I just get more and more bullish. Let's take a look at what else is going on here in the news. Jonathan says, thanks, Jess. That'd be a treat. I lost my job unfairly in October. I'm very sorry to hear that. Now I'm minus £500 in my bank account and plus £5,000 in crypto. Matthew says I'm in the same boat. This is not good. This is not good. I'm very sorry to hear that. Rob says in the chat, no one cares about your money more than you. Lost a lot last time with copy trading, bad mistake. Very, very true. No one cares about your money more than you. I'm very sorry to hear that, Jonathan and Matthew B. Hopefully things turn more positive in 2024. I mean, the cryptocurrency markets have, and hopefully that can help. But very, very sad times there. Let's take a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency news, though. Let me have a sip of my coffee this morning before we continue through the stream. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, my coffee is cold. My coffee is very, very cold. Let's see what's going on here. In the chat, ETF update, IBIT smashes inflow record as Bitcoin made new high. BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF. IBIT broke its previous record for money flow yesterday. So we're seeing new records, as I've just said. We are seeing these updates over and over again. And as it keeps happening, I get more and more bullish because there was some concern that the Bitcoin ETFs would go live. We'd see a lot of excitement and then it would slowly die off. But what we've seen is it's on an upwards trajectory. People are wanting to invest in these ETFs. Funds are looking to add these ETFs into their portfolio. It's becoming insane. I mean, BlackRock themselves have like a strategy fund. Essentially, instead of investing in Bitcoin in one particular stock or another, you can invest in a fund on the brokerage websites like BlackRock and other asset management portfolio holders, ISAs, whatever they're called. So you can invest in a fund that instead of it is one stock that you have to research, it's just a collection of stock, like the S&P 500, but not the S&P 500. There's loads of different kinds out there. You can have high risk, medium risk, and low risk funds to invest into. So if you've got a personal advisor, they're probably investing in a mixture of these things to try and create the best rewards for you without taking on too much risk. The high rewards funds typically take on more risk but have more potential upside, and vice versa for the low risk ones. And now BlackRock and other Bitcoin ETF issuers are saying, actually, we want to include the Bitcoin ETF in some of our strategic funds. So even though some people, so those investors that are investing in the funds rather than individual stocks may not even know what Bitcoin is, may not even know what crypto is, but BlackRock is saying, actually, we want them to have exposure to this because we think the return on investment is strong enough to make a positive impact on these funds as a whole. So that could create a huge amount of inflows for Bitcoin because these funds would have to buy a huge amount of the ETF to put the assets into those funds. So really nice to see those changes there. We have seen some of these issuers change some of their filings for their funds to allow them to do that. I think I spoke really fast. I think I made sense. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Sometimes I speak fast. It doesn't always make sense when it comes out my mouth. It only makes sense in my brain. So let me know if that made sense there. If not, I will go through over that again. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here. An ex-Ethereum miner states how proof of stake will benefit the price this cycle. So we did see in September 2021 or 2020. What year are we in now? We're in 2024, I want to say September 2022. I think it was September 2022. Ethereum merged from proof of work to proof of stake. So instead of having all of these mining companies mining a block and adding a block onto the blockchain like we do for Bitcoin, we have validators adding blocks onto the blockchain. And we have moved to proof of stake. Now, there was a lot of controversy about this at the time because proof of work, first of all, there's a lot of negativity about it because of its impact on the environment. When we're looking at Bitcoin, we've seen so many negative comments about the effect on the environment because mining companies have to buy huge computers, they have to pump a lot of electricity into them, and that electricity isn't always kind of renewable energy, and there's lots of concerns about that. So proof of work has this bad name. However, I am a proof of work fan. Since Ethereum is merged into proof of stake, we've seen some centralization concerns. Being decentralized is not a categoric term. There is a kind of a spectrum from centralized to decentralized, and you can move along that spectrum. For example, when Bitcoin mining got banned in China, everyone was like, this is a terrible, terrible thing. But it actually wasn't, because it helped Bitcoin's decentralization. So there is a spectrum when it comes to centralization and decentralization. Ethereum has had some concerns, and the Ethereum Foundation has addressed those concerns since moving to proof of stake because of the lack of decentralization of the network, but they are trying to move forward, trying to be more scalable and trying to build a strong platform here, doing very well at that as well. If we take a look at what's gone on here, the individual shed some light of their previous mining operation and how ETH would benefit from proof of stake. So it takes a lot, because a lot of the miners were very angry about this decision to change to proof of stake. The original blockchain still carries on. I think it's ETH POW, and that is trying to they're basically just still mining Ethereum on the original chain. It's not as successful. We can take a look at the price actually. I mean, I think it's ETH POW. Is that right? Or is it just ETH W? Is it just ETH W? I think it is. I think it's this one here. So if we take a look at the price, no, it can't be there. No, it can. It is this one here. So this is the proof of work chain for Ethereum that has continued. Miners are still mining on this blockchain, and you can see that we are trading at $3.96 after hitting lows of $1.16. So it has seen significant price action. And this is when the merge happened in September 2022. So that all aligns nicely, and that's what's actually been happening there. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat again here. Jonathan says, thanks for your kind words. You always seem really genuine. You're a class person. Thank you very much. That is very, very kind. Decentralized isn't binary. Peter Dell says, Jess is great value, unlike most on YouTube trying to pump certain coins like ICP. And pump certain coins like ICP. Read the same line twice there. And coins the other day, I saw a guy say that SHIB will get over $1. What a joke. Thank you very much for the compliments in the chat there. We try and stick to the news. We try and stick to the high cap coins. We try and stay informed on what's going on in the cryptocurrency space here on the channel. That is the most important thing here. So yeah, thank you very much for those compliments. As you can see, I don't take compliments very well. Jonathan says Ethereum Classic must be proof of work too, right? Ethereum Classic is proof of work. ETC? Is it ETC? Yeah, it is. Do you know what? There's so many to remember. This is pumped nicely within the last couple of days, months as well. If we take a look at the previous cycle, it got as high as $180. It's now down at 37.3. So really nice price action there. It's not something I invested into. I am actually an Ethereum Classic fan. I actually am. So those that don't know what happened with Ethereum, basically Ethereum Classic is the original blockchain. There was an issue back in 2016. It was called the DAO hack, and this was a re-entrancy attack. Essentially, the blockchain got reversed. The immutable blockchain that is cryptocurrency blockchains got reversed because of a massive hack that happened on the blockchain. So they reversed some blocks, removed those blocks from the blockchain, and then continued from before the hack. So any transactions that occurred during the hack or post the hack were basically withdrawn. It was retracted. Now that's something that we all say can't happen in crypto. It's an immutable blockchain. It's when you make a transaction, that's final. That's what's meant to happen. But back in 2016, the Ethereum Foundation decided to roll back the blockchain, disregard any transactions that had happened, and continue from a previous point in the blockchain. And that's when we created Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic is the original chain that has the DAO hack on it, and Ethereum, as we know it now, is the blockchain that had that reversal. Now, obviously, the markets have changed a lot since 2016. I don't think we need to worry about something like that happening now. But at the time, it was a big deal because the community was very much divided on what should happen there. Should we keep the immutability of a blockchain, or should we actually reverse this? Big debates happened at the time. I think in theory, I am an Ethereum Classic fan. I don't think that we should be rolling back the blockchain, even if it's for an attack. But in practice, I think if I'm investing in Ethereum, I'm investing in Ethereum, not Ethereum Classic. Let's take a look. Thank you very much for that donation in the chat there. You're welcome, Jess. Thank you for the alpha. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you very much for that $6 donation, Monkey Nuts. I very much appreciate it, and I do genuinely appreciate you tuning in every single day. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you very much for that donation there. Jonathan says ETC were right. I mean, I do agree, but in practice, when I'm investing in Ethereum, we all know, like, Ethereum Classic is kind of just an altcoin at this point. It is just an altcoin at this point. Although I do agree with the Ethereum Classic community back in 2016. We've got to let it go at some point. And I when I'm talking about Ethereum, I'm talking about Ethereum, not Ethereum Classic. Ethereum is the one with all the ecosystem on it. So they are different chains, but that's what's happened there. Peter Dell says this bull run is getting scary. It could break even or bust. Means heaps of dollars, or I suppose. I don't know what you mean there, Peter Dell. It could break even, as in, do you think that the all-time high is it? Or bust means heaps of dollars, or I suppose. I can't give financial advice, so I can't be too bullish on this channel, but I am so bullish on Bitcoin for this year. I can't pretend I'm not there. Let's take a look at what's going on with the live stream right now. We've got 37 people watching, and we have 29 likes on today's stream. Let's try and get that to 50 before we close off today's stream. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. We've got lots of news to still discuss today, and then we are going to take a look at some altcoins and the Bitcoin price there. We've got until 1 o'clock on today's live stream, so we've got a while to go through the latest news and see what's happening here. Let's see what is going on in the next article here, though. Let's pull this up. So actually, we haven't even read through this article. We read the headline, and then I just went off on a complete tangent. Let's read through this article and see what this miner thinks. So this is somebody that was mining Ethereum pre-merge, and now they are saying, actually, proof of stake is the way forward. It's good for Ethereum. So let's take a look at this. On Wednesday, DC Investor posted on Twitter stating there will be no forced miner selling on ETH this cycle. Very real possibility ETH ETF creates an insane supply crunch, the likes of which we've never seen. An individual named Paige quoted the post explaining their previous Ethereum mining experience and how no miners would benefit Ethereum. Now, I understand this. When we take a look, Peter Dell, if you've got a high cap coin, I will go through it. Low cap coins, depends on the coin. It's just not really the channel for that, but we'll see what suggestions you give, and I'll pick the ones that we'll do. So essentially, back to this article, every time that Bitcoin miners mine Bitcoin, it does create some selling pressure in a way, because if we're looking at a mining company, they have to pay for their computers, they have to pay to put the electricity into those computers, they need to pay for a warehouse, and they need to pay for the fans to cool down those machines. So that costs a lot of money. Now, in return for all of that work, they're getting Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't pay their bills, cash does. So they need to sell Bitcoin to get the cash to pay their bills so they can continue to operate as a mining company. So the actual mining industry does create sell pressure for Bitcoin, even though it's there to support the network and grow the network. So that is something that Ethereum no longer has. Ethereum now has validators who earn interest on their tokens by staking, and they do not earn such big quantity. Actually, no, that's an invalid statement. So we don't have that selling pressure on Ethereum anymore because it's merged from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, if we take a look at what's going on here, how mining ETH was a good option. The individual began by stating they mined ETH between 2018 and 2021. They sold the rewards once the price was above $3,000. 90% of people who mined ETH were either selling immediately or selling immediately for Bitcoin. Due to the cheaper hardware, Picolas stated that Ethereum was an alternative route to acquiring Bitcoin. It was a great way to slowly accumulate Bitcoin during a long bear market, provide downwards price action on ETH. Most maxis hate that, but it does make sense here. So when we're taking a look at mining, Bitcoin miners, there's a lot more, when we're looking at mining in general, there's a massive barrier to entry because of the amount of competition in the market. If we go back to 2010, mining Bitcoin was so easy. You just needed your laptop and you'd be able to mine the thing. But as the competition rose, so does the difficulty to mine a block. If the difficulty stayed the same and more people were mining, we'd just mine more blocks within an hour. And that's not what the Bitcoin network is programmed to do. So the Bitcoin network has a mechanism that ensures that the difficulty to mine will increase as the competition increases, to ensure that there's only one block mined every 10 minutes on average. Now, so when the competition increases, the difficulty to mine increases, and the hardware you need increases. So you go from mining on a laptop to mining on a mining rig, and it becomes more expensive to mine. In theory and in practice, how this has worked is that as the mining has become more difficult, the value of the Bitcoin has increased, so it's still a profitable industry and business model. But when it comes to Ethereum, obviously Ethereum is a much smaller token, so the difficulty to mine was easier. And some people said, look, do you know what? I don't have the facilities to mine Bitcoin, but I can afford to try and mine Ethereum first. And then once they'd mine that Ethereum, they'd transition that into Bitcoin. So this was creating selling pressure for Ethereum along the way, because some miners were literally just doing it to acquire more Bitcoin. But that selling pressure is no longer there. Matthew B says CPU to GPU to ASIC. Exactly. So that's what we've been seeing in the markets over the years. And this is also, that whole conversation there about the difficulty increasing to mine Bitcoin it's something definitely to know during a shift in the block rewards when that Bitcoin halving hits, because we see articles over and over again that mining companies may not survive through the Bitcoin halving. And I always look at these articles and say, do you know what? The majority of these historically have been found through a halving. So what's different this time? And the second point to think is, well, if one of these massive mining companies can no longer be profitable and they turn their machines off, the barrier to entry reduces and other mining companies may be able to start up, and then we see decentralization increase. So these articles aren't a negative thing. It doesn't mean the Bitcoin blockchain is going to break. Seeing the difficulty increase is just because the competition is increasing, but if the competition comes down, the difficulty increases, the barrier to entry decreases, and the decentralization increases. I hope that makes sense. I always catch myself talking so quickly, but hopefully that makes sense. Let's take a look at what's going on. We've got 32 people viewing on YouTube right now and 32 likes, so please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and I would appreciate if you tune in with me every single weekday so you don't miss what's going on in the cryptocurrency space. Let's take a look at what else is going on here. So short-term holder realized price nears $50,000. So the realized price is a metric reflecting the collective price at which each coin was last utilized on chain. This figure experienced significant fluctuations over the past week. So this short-term holder realized price showed an average on-chain acquisition price for coins moved outside exchanges reserves within the last 155 days. So this was just $40,000 a month ago, and it shifted up to $50,000 very, very quickly. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat here. Rob says, who's your favorite YouTuber? Channel Jess, don't have to say TMG. Only other one I watch is Tyler S. Crypto. Do you want me to advertise the competition on this channel? I don't think I can. I think you should be watching this channel every day. TMG's videos are obviously very, very good on both TMG Trades and on that Martini Guy channel as well. And we are going to have another presenter coming. You've seen Spud on the channel a couple of times now. He did my daily live streams while I took a break towards the end of last year. And he has done a couple of interviews with different projects here on the channel. And he's going to be presenting a lot more on these YouTube channel videos as well. So we'll be producing a lot more content here on this channel, so make sure to check that out and stay tuned there, and make sure to support the channel by hitting that like button. Matthew B says there are so many crypto YouTubers, but this one is the best. You're all making me blush. Rob says we won't leave you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Make sure to stay tuned every single day. Let's take a look at what is going on in the next article here. So Solana DEXs move to overtake Ethereum. So decentralized exchanges have become the place to be during the meme coin frenzy, and the market has recently undergone another phase of meme coin dominance, with the attention firmly on the tokens providing the meme culture. During these phases, investors hunt for those with the potential to make 100x or more, and thus DEXs become the trading room for volume. During these times of on-chain focus, the Ethereum network becomes becomes increasingly more congested, surging gas fees. We've all seen this over and over again. A token swap on a DEX costs $72 at the time of writing, with this figure rising to over $200 during specific windows of the day. I mean, we saw this in the previous cycle. They all promised us that the merge would fix this. It doesn't look like it. There was a lot of controversy around the merge, and I still was on the team to cancel the merge, but obviously that did not happen. Let's take a look at what is going on here. DEX volume rivals Ethereum. So we're seeing, according to Wu Blockchain, between the 3rd of March and 6th of March, DEX volume exceeded $2 billion for 4 consecutive days. On the 5th of March, a new record high was also set at $2.85 billion. So top 5 Solana DEXs are seeing some volumes there. And I think it's important that, like, with the meme coin investing, people are wanting to make a quick buck. Now, if you can trade on a Solana network for lower transaction fees, you're going to do that. And especially because there's a lot of hype around Solana right now and the ecosystem on Solana. That they are seeing nice returns on that blockchain and in that ecosystem. So that's where the hype is right now. And I do see that as an opportunity. That's not me saying that Solana is the next Ethereum. I think I've made that clear within the last couple of days. I don't think there is an Ethereum killer. I can't imagine another ecosystem blockchain breaking above Ethereum in terms of market cap this cycle. That's not saying it's not going to happen. It's just not something I personally expect. But even though we see the transaction volumes being higher on other blockchains, I think the amount of money invested into Ethereum is something that can hold it strong at second place, because it is a household name at this point. It's proven itself by longevity. Other blockchains do have their issues, even though some of them may have faster transaction fees and lower transaction speeds. They don't have that longevity. And Solana, for example, like it has outages. We saw one again like last month, the month before, and we saw like 7 in the previous cycle. And I know you're all bullish on Solana. I'm not trying to bash Solana. I'm personally not an investor, but that's not me saying I'm not bullish on it. I think a lot of VCs are invested into it, and if they're bullish on it, we should all be bullish on it. But yeah, it's one of those projects. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Maybe I'm just bitter at Solana because of everything that's happened with it. Rob says she is, but it's interesting to see who watches who. Matthew B says number 1. Jonathan says you are the superior YouTube presenter. Like Bitcoin's the superior asset, I'm the superior presenter. Honestly, you're all making me blush today. I'm going to walk out that door with a massive, massive ego. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Monkey Nut says, I think everyone here now are with you for life. You should make us moderators. We could ban ourselves then when we get out of control. Hopefully we've got the same community here by the end of the cycle, and we can all look back and be proud at what we've built in the space. Let's take a look at what's going on here. We've got 34 likes on today's stream with 37 viewers on YouTube right now. We've got 544 people watching on Twitter right now. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button if you are watching from Twitter. Make sure to head over to the YouTube channel as well. Peter says, Jess, we all have the smash the bell on. We appreciate your reviews. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So Binance halts Solana withdrawals until the 9th of March due to high activity. So they've halted withdrawals until Saturday due to increased transaction volume on the Solana network. So leading crypto exchange Binance has halted withdrawals to the Solana network due to a surge in transaction volume. According to a recent announcement by Binance on the 6th of March, they anticipate resolving this issue and resuming withdrawals by the 9th of March. Withdrawals on Solana have undergone an intermittent suspension since the 4th of March due to the heightened transaction activity. Binance is addressing areas for improvement to ensure a stable and sustainable solution. The expected implemented date for this solution is the 9th of March. So exchange issues, we're seeing Binance alongside other major exchanges such as Coinbase, Kraken, and Bybit encounter performance issues. These distributions have been attributed to the surge in retail interest and increased workload from algorithmic trading firms. We're seeing this over and over again. When Bitcoin did create that all-time high, which yeah, it was an all-time high, but I'm not counting it. Coinbase did have a little bit of an outage as well, so issues on all of these blockchain exchanges right now. But I mean, this one's a little bit silly. I think this one's a little bit silly because the Solana network has had increased transaction volume, but people should be able to withdraw their funds, and that should be one of the priorities when it comes to a centralized exchange. Rob says sometimes we're like a naughty classroom and Jess is the teacher keeping it together. Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes it really is. Jonathan says bell notification has been smashed since I can remember. Thank you very much. If you have not already, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got Revolut partners with Metamask to provide Revolut Ramp. The neobank will provide additional services to its crypto offerings. Revolut has partnered with Metamask to expand its cryptocurrency services in offers to customers. Revolut offers cryptocurrencies to its customers with in-app purchases alongside traditional banking features. Revolut Ramp will allow customers to seamlessly pay to on-ramp and purchase crypto directly to Metamask. Now, this is brilliant to see. To see Revolut partnering with MetaMask to create that on-ramp is insane. I mean, this is removing the barrier to entry so much more. And instead of removing the barrier to entry to centralized exchanges, we're moving people to decentralized exchanges. When we're interacting with MetaMask, it means we can actually interact with the blockchain rather than giving our private keys to somebody else. This news here is so bullish, and the utility of this is so important. This doesn't necessarily mean, look, the prices are going to go up off the back of this, but this is removing that barrier to entry. And as I always say, there's a real issue in this space when it comes to onboarding new users, because as a cryptocurrency space, what a lot of us in this space do is we go, oh yeah, we're in cryptocurrency, and then when someone tries to understand, we just kind of don't give them the time of day to educate themselves. And I think there is a bit of a problem there where we kind of frown upon newbies sometimes, and that's what I want to eradicate in the space this year. We don't want any more of that. We want to see adoption of the space. We want to see new people entering the space, and we want to make it easy for them. A lot of people are scared about centralized exchanges right now because the mainstream media loved to promote that FTX was a scam and how bad that was and how bad the cryptocurrency space is. So we need to provide them with an alternative that they feel comfortable with, and having a lot of people have Revolut bank accounts and allowing them to move their money from Revolut to MetaMask simply through the Revolut app is a game changer, because people trust Revolut. So having the opportunity to move from there to MetaMask and the ability to interact with decentralized exchanges in that way is a game changer, and I think that's understated right now. Matthew B says every new person in crypto helps everyone in crypto. Exactly. Peter says, hang on one sec, there are 39 people watching yet only 32 likes. There must be some skullduggery going on here. Get your act together, people. Like and bell 100%. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've been on this live stream for almost an hour, and we're not going to stop until we get to 50 likes, so please make sure to hit that like button. Let's see what else is going on here. In the news, turbulent 24 hours for Hut 8, so this is a Bitcoin mining company, after they see a lawsuit and mining facility closure. So let's take a look at this. Several legal firms have submitted offers to represent investors of Hut 8 who have faced losses following the submission of a report by short sellers J Capital. The firms are encouraging investors who purchased Hut 8 stock between the 9th of November and the 18th of January to join the lawsuit, which is seeking restitution for losses incurred during this period. Shareholders of Hut 8 who sustained losses during this period and wish to proceed with seeking damages are requested to contact one of the law firms by April the 8th. This year. So one of the legal firms involved alleged that Hut 8 and its executives violated federal security laws by misrepresenting certain financial aspects, thereby adversely affecting the stock price. Other lawsuits focus on individual losses, arguing that all shareholders who bought stocks during the specified time frame deserve compensation. So on the 19th of January, the stock price of Hut 8 fell by 23% following the release of a report by J Capital alleging impending insider stock dumping. The report specifically implicated Hut 8's partner, USBTC, in a history of legal issues related to $725 million merger deal. Now, Hut 8 promptly refuted these claims on the 24th of January, 5 days later, stating that the report deliberately attempted to promote false information about the company. So subsequently, Jamie Leverton resigned as Hut 8's CEO and was succeeded by Asher Ganoot, the company's president and member of its board of directors. So Hut 8 has also decided to shut down its mining operations in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada, citing power interruptions and escalating energy expenses. So not a good day for Hut 8, not a good day at all. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat here. Shadow Trade says, I use Revolut all day. Do you know what? I only typically use Revolut if, did I say Rev 8? It's because I've been reading Hut 8 for so long. I only typically use Revolut if I'm abroad somewhere, but it works for me. It works for me. I've never had any problems with it. Let's see what's going on here. Shadow Trade says, crypto saving expert. Jonathan says, let's keep it at 49 forever so we don't hit that 50 mark. Let's see what we're on right now. We're on 39 likes with 39 people watching right now. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Rob says, buy when Jess has under 50 likes, sell when Jess has 1,000 likes. Imagine. One day we will get 1,000 likes on a stream, and I think it's coming this bull market. Matthew B says, get your wallet, add fee, get wealthy. That simple. It's that simple. Let's see what's going on in the rest of the news here. MicroStrategy has upped its raise by to $700,000. So initially they wanted to raise 600 million. What did I say? 700,000? Originally, MicroStrategy announced that they wanted to raise $600 million. It's anticipated they wanted to invest that into Bitcoin, but they've actually raised that by $100 million. Now they want to raise $700 million at 0.625% interest rate. So they want to raise this money as in a convertible senior note as a debt security. So these hold an option for the buyer to turn it into shares of the issuer. The investor also earns interest on their outlay. So MicroStrategy's move suggested the company wished to add more Bitcoins to its stack. MicroStrategy Incorporated today announced the pricing of its offering of $700 million aggregate principal amount of 0.625% convertible senior notes due 2030, the announcement read. So it's offered the purchasers of the $600 million initial offering the chance to add another $100 million within 13 days, beginning on the same day as the notes are first issued. So people will essentially invest in these notes, and it will give them the option to buy the MicroStrategy stock in 2030. Now, in the meantime, they will receive 0.625% interest. I think that's the process. So buyers of the convertible senior notes will earn 0.625% interest. MicroStrategy will be obliged to pay interest on 15th of March and 15th of September for the next 6 years until we hit 2030, and then those investors have the choice of redeeming their stocks instead. So massive opportunities here, and they're really seeming to look like they want to invest even more in Bitcoin. Dollar cost average even even heavier, I don't know, into Bitcoin, which is great to see. I mean, when we all see a headline, when we wake up and see MicroStrategy have invested, it's not bad. It's not bad. Peter Dale says, oh cool, just watched a 2-minute ad. It is always nice to watch your friends' full ad. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It does help the channel. Let me know though. People have been complaining there's too many ads in these shows. If there are, I can try and reduce them further. I did reduce them last week. Hopefully that's still in play. Otherwise, that might be the problem there. Jonathan says, I'm drinking semi-skimmed milk. It's so watery. It's like holding Fiat. Lol. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the news here. US can still achieve a soft landing, according to Jerome Powell here. He's provided his thoughts on the US economy. So on Wednesday, yesterday at 3 p.m. UTC, the Federal Reserve's chairman began testifying before Congress. He was set to provide an overview of the US economy and the Fed's monetary policy. And we did see that he said rate cuts will depend on the path of the economy. Inflation remains cool, reaching 3.1% in February. In fact, inflation has remained below 4% for 8 consecutive months. Still, the figure has yet to drop closer to the Fed's 2% target. So, well, we're looking at the percentage the inflation rate year on year. In June or July 2021, we saw inflation of 9.1% in the US, which is absolutely insane. And we do not want to see those inflation rates. And the US government said we need to get this down to 2%. And that was a big challenge. Now, we've managed to get inflation down to 4% for 8 consecutive months, which is really, really good. But we're still like a 2x away from that 2% goal. Like we're 100% over the goal, if that makes sense. Which is significant. Well, obviously now we're not. We're like 50% above, but that's a significant change between 4% and 2%. And just because we've got it down from 9.1% doesn't mean that this last leg will be easy. I think it's very difficult. What we can see is for the US to get down the inflation rates from 9.1%, they're using interest rates as a tool. Now, when they increase interest rates and it's more expensive to get loans and mortgages and all of that kind of stuff, people have less liquid cash, they're spending less money, so the economy is shrinking, so inflation is going down. So interest rates have been rising and rising and rising, and now they've been continuous for a while, but these high interest rates are really, it creates a difficult climate for everybody involved in those economies. We don't want to see high interest rates. It's hard for the everyday person. So we are looking and hoping for interest rates to move to the downside. And with that, when interest rates move to the downside, it's typically good for the markets as well, because not only do people not have liquid cash to spend on assets and grow the economy, but they have less excess cash to invest as well. So high interest rates typically are bad for the markets, and low interest rates are better for the markets. Now, we've seen the interest rates be high for a very long time in the US. We are all waiting for those interest rates to come down again, but we don't want them to come down too quickly, because if they do, then we could see inflation increase, and then we could end up with interest rates going back up again. And we don't want that. We want it to be sustainable when it goes down. We want it to be going down over and over again in a slow progression, rather than seeing interest rates come down, inflation go up again. So interest rates go up again, inflation goes down, interest rates go down, inflation goes up again. We want it to be sustainable. So we want to be sure that when the interest rates are coming down again, it's because the economy can deal with that, and we won't see the inflation start to spike once again. So Jerome still saying that he reiterated his firm stance that it is essential for the Fed to see the job through on inflation. More important that we get this right than we do it fast. 100%, that's what I've just been saying. The chairman also revealed that the Fed sees no short-term risk of a recession, nor is the risk elevated currently. I think we can achieve a soft landing, says Powell. Not the same in the UK. We have officially hit a recession here. Let's see what's going on here. Jess says, I have news for you. I matched a nice girl on Salt's dating app, so now you have competition. I don't know what to say to that, Jonathan. I really don't know what to say to that. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here. Peter Dell says, do you use a VPN? Yes, I do use a VPN. Peter Dell says, gee, 11:45 p.m. Thursday night here in Melbourne, Australia. It's great to be retired. I want to be in Melbourne, Australia. Like a couple of weeks ago, there were some flights that, like, I think they'd been price rolling or something, and there was a £500 return from the UK to Melbourne, and I was like, that sounds really, really tempting. But I only came to Australia 3 months ago. I was like, can I deal with that jet lag again already? And the jet lag was so bad. It was so hard to deal with. We got there, and for the first couple of days, literally falling asleep in my chair anywhere I went. I thought, it's jet lag, it's fine, I can deal with it. I sleep anywhere. I slept on the plane the whole way, yet when we got there, I was literally falling asleep all of the time. And then the same when we got home. It was so hard. I just didn't think that jet lag could be that bad, but it really, really was. So I think I need maybe a year in between trips to Australia, but still, I love Australia. And I never went to Melbourne. I went to Sydney and I went to Tasmania. So it'd be nice to go to Melbourne and see what that's like too, because one of my friends has actually just moved there, and it looks really, really nice. It looks really cool. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Let me have a sip of my cold coffee. VPN. What VPN do I use? I think we have a link in today's description for a VPN. Let me check that we've got the right description going on today, because sometimes it resets to the old one, and that's not what we want. Yeah, we've got a link to a VPN in the chat. This is the VPN that I use, in fact, and that is ExpressVPN. It's got 49% off annual subscription and 3 months free if you use the link in the description. So make sure to check that out if you are looking for a VPN. If you want any other VPN, if you're not happy with ExpressVPN, I never have any problems with ExpressVPN, but if you're not happy with it, check out cryptosavingexpert.com. If you go to cryptosavingexpert.com and you go to the guide section and we go to the where are we going to go to? Stay safe. Here we go. You can see a list of different VPNs that we use here at Crypto Saving Expert. So there's different VPNs here, all with links. Some of them have some discount codes there as well. So we've got ExpressVPN, NordVPN, Surfshark VPN, and Atlas VPN with the descriptions about each and a description of why you should use a VPN as well. So make sure to check that out. It's important to stay safe online, especially when you're doing self-custody and in control of your own funds. It's your responsibility to stay safe. So make sure to check that out if you have not done so already. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space. Why would he sack me? What's that say? You can say, here's my number, lol, TMG would sack me. Yeah, probably. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space. Jonathan used Ivan's referral. What are you doing? You cancel use. Yeah, see, no, I'm mainly joking. I like Ivan's channel. I've never met him, but I like his channel, and he's a good friend of Jordan. So we'll let you off with that one, but only this time. David says next time to go to Australia via LA and keep traveling west on the way back. Way better for jet lag. Yeah, I think that is the strategy. I think that is the strategy. But I actually went to Hong Kong on my way and my way back. Very interesting experience. Why is this turning into the dress show and not the cryptocurrency show? I'll tell the story any very quickly. Hong Kong, really, really interesting. I've traveled around China before, so I mistakenly expected it to be very similar to China. It was not. It was very, very different, but it was still a lot of fun, still lots of nice things to see, and it was a very interesting experience. Anyway, let's get back to the cryptocurrency news, because that's what we're all here for. None of you care about my holidays. Let's see what's going on here. So MicroStrategy are raising another $100 million. Jerome says that he wants to achieve a soft landing when it comes to interest rates in the US. Coinbase, this is the next article of the day. Coinbase lawyers request the court to revoke the SEC's labeling of secondary crypto sales. So the exchange is still deep in a legal battle with the regulator. According to a report, lawyers representing Coinbase in its legal battle with the SEC have asked the court to remove a previous judgment by the regulator. The judgment in question labeled secondary crypto sales as security transactions. A filing to US District Judge Catherine Fowler has submitted on Tuesday. One of Coinbase's lawyers asked the judge to revoke the SEC's judgment, stating there was no weight to the claim. The filing read, "We write to provide further information not included in the Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission Notice of Supplemental Authority, ECF number 103, relevant to the default judgment entered by the US District Court for the Western District of Washington on the SEC unposed mission and SEC." Do you know what? There was no point reading that, was it? There was no point reading that. So essentially what's happening here is the lawsuit alleged securities fraud on the grounds the trio front-run cryptocurrencies based on information gained from Coinbase. One of the brothers worked at Coinbase, so the brothers filed to have the case dismissed on the 6th of February, citing the cryptos in question were not investment contracts and the SEC is out of its legal grounds. Essentially what happened here, from my recollection, there was a lawsuit made because there was supposed inside trading by people that worked at Coinbase. Two brothers that worked at Coinbase. Somebody worked at Coinbase, his brother did not, and they were telling people, he was telling his brother what tokens were going to be listed onto the exchange before they were listed. And in the previous cycle, like, all of those tokens that got listed on exchanges would just pump immediately. Like, we'd see this token's listed on Binance, 1 minute later, up 10%. We'd see that over and over again in the cycle, and some people did take advantage of that. Again, I see all these opportunities. I just choose not to take advantage of these things sometimes. I want to be more proactive this bull market. I really, really do. So anyway, there was an accusation of insider trading, but the lawyers have come back and said, you know what? Actually, first of all, you're assuming that the sale of these transactions, the sale of these tokens is a security because the SEC is a security regulator when it's not deemed to be that. And second of all, Well, no, first of all, there is only first of all. That's the point that they've made. That's why they're trying to get out of the lawsuit. That's what happened there. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at the final article of the day. Alex says in the chat, first time listening live, big up CSE and the baddie Jess. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. I think it's more fun watching it live every single day, so make sure to do that if you can do. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Jonathan says 10%, more like 600%. Yeah, like it was significant gains. I said 1 minute later, so then I lowered it to 10%, but what I was implying is like some of them did like 2-3x's in like 5 minutes. I just made it smaller because I said 1 minute. I didn't mean to. Ignore me. Jonathan says, welcome to the banter, Alex. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 42 likes on today's stream, and we've got 5 minutes before my meeting with the team and with the premium users. So if you are a Crypto Saving Expert premium user, we have a Discord like Zoom meeting video call in 4 minutes time, where we are going to be talking about a very new exciting tool that is coming to Crypto Saving Expert premium users. So make sure to stay tuned for that if you are wanting to be in that call with us all, with that Martini guy, with myself, and with the rest of the Crypto Saving Expert team. Make sure to become a premium member within the next 4 minutes, and hopefully you can get over to the Discord in time. If you do sign up within the next 4 minutes, send a message to the Crypto Saving Expert Twitter account straight away, because we're running out of time here to get you in that video call, but it's going to be a good call. Jonathan says, okay, Jess, I'll stop giving you a hard time for 1 minute. Tell them you're the superior presenter, Jess. I am. No, my head's getting too big on this stream, honestly. Let's take a look at this final article of the day. Gary Gensler compares Bitcoin's latest all-time high to a roller coaster ride. He has said, cryptocurrency is a highly speculative asset class. One could just look at the volatility of Bitcoin in the last few days, and I grew up loving roller coasters, but you really should be conscious as the investing public that this is a bit of a roller coaster ride on volatile assets. So he's saying, look, just be careful. We always knew he was going to be saying this. The US government actually holds a huge amount of Bitcoin, and so did the UK government, because they seize Bitcoin and then they just hodl. Diamond handing. So that's what's happening there. But Gary Gensler still putting on this front that he's against Bitcoin. Is he actually, though? Because he was the lecturer promoting cryptocurrencies, Ethereum included, like 10 years ago. So it's either a very strong change in stance, or he has to be this way for his position. Strange. I don't think I want to go any deeper on that. It's just my thoughts of the day. In terms of a spot Ethereum ETF, we are hoping to find out what is going on with these. The first final deadline that we reach is the VanEck spot Ethereum ETF application, which is on May the 23rd. So the SEC is the regulator in the US, which Gary Gensler is the chairman of. When we have ETFs launch, asset managers have to apply for the SEC to allow them to launch those ETFs. So the SEC are facing applications for Ethereum ETFs from many different asset managers, and the SEC have 4 deadlines, and the first 3 they can delay their decision, but on the final deadline they need to either accept or reject the ETFs. Now if they reject them, then they need to say a valid reason as to why they cannot go live. And now with the Bitcoin ETFs, we saw the SEC reject them, we saw the SEC enter a lawsuit, and we saw the SEC lose that lawsuit because they had not given a valid reason as to why the ETFs should not go live. So they need to think of something good here. They need to think of something strong, otherwise we could go through that whole process again. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with these Ethereum ETFs, but the price volatility from this could be absolutely crazy, and I really hope for the cryptocurrency space they do get accepted. And there's also talks about these ETFs having staking opportunities as well to earn investors some interest as well. So really interesting there. And I think if an Ethereum ETF comes live, like what's next? Like an XRP ETF, a Solana ETF? It just opens the floodgates a bit, and that's why I'm a little bit cautious that they'll try their best to stop this. Analysts are saying right now there's about a 50% chance that the ETFs will go live for Ethereum, but we will find out on May 23rd at the latest. I think if they go live, we will see kind of simultaneous acceptance like we did with the Bitcoin ETFs, where they all got accepted at once. I think that's what we'd see for the Ethereum ETFs as well, if it's positive news. But we'll have to stay tuned on that. Obviously, obviously we will do in the we'll be doing the live streams here to update you. That is all for today because I have to run off to my meeting now. How long have we been on this stream for? It's been 1 hour and 17 minutes, probably one of our longest live streams yet. I think the longest live stream was on the day the Bitcoin ETS went live because I just sat here and chatted rubbish with you for hours and hours and hours. But I have to go now because I have to go on a call with the premium users. So if you are a premium user, make sure to head over to the Discord channel right now and join in on that video call with me and that Martini guy and the rest of the cryptocurrency team. Other than that, though, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. That's all for today, and I will see you all back here tomorrow. Goodbye.